I got a sweet mail call today from Big Brown Bear. Sean sent me some CBN Waterstones, a 400 grit and a 1500 grit. He also sent me this sweet stone holder, and he's got this set up as a system so that the 1500 grit stays inside the stone holder. The 400 grit has that tacky drawer lining stuff on the back of it. It just rests on top of the 1500. When you're done sharpening on it, you just pull it off, clean off the 1500, you're ready to go. From there, you just take it to a strop, which he actually sent me. He loaded this with diamond spray. He had asked me if I'd ever used diamonds before, and I told him about my experiences, and he wanted me to give the stuff that he uses a try, so why not? Now, the way these stones work, as he described it to me, is you need to take this Nagora stone, lap the top surfaces. What that does is it wears down the resin bond that's holding the CBN emulsion and allows the CBN to poke through. So you'll aggressively lap through the surface. If it starts to load up, it'll get rid of that load up. Once you're done with that, you should be able to sharpen. He said there's not as much feedback on these as most water stones, and they cut a little slower. But being CBN, they will cut through all the super steels with no problems. So not only did he send me the stones, he sent me two knives also. This is a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 and S110V. He's got his logo labeled on the top of it. And from what I can tell, he has thinned this thing down incredibly thin. I don't know how thin exactly it is behind the edge, but this thing is nice and thin. He also sent this, I believe this is the K2 Farid. I'm not sure, yeah, the Farid K-2. I've never been familiar with this model. It's just too big, too bulky, and I really do not like titanium frame locks from Spyderco. I've got a military in titanium that has 100% lockup, and it's starting to develop lock rock. And looking at this guy, it's at 100% lockup as well. They just don't do frame locks very well, in my opinion. Thing about this though is it is CPM 10V, so this stuff is really wear resistant, kind of like Maximate. You know, it's just full of vanadium carbides, stuff that's gonna make it difficult to sharpen, but keep an edge forever. Now this S110V, I believe, is pretty close to 10V as far as the vanadium content and that sort of thing. So it too has a high resistance to sharpening. Since he sent these, and it appears he has sharpened them, though I think the edges have been used, but since he sent them and they do have a sharp edge on them, I'm going to go ahead and test them on my edge tester, and then I'll verify with him that it's okay, and I will sharpen them myself, and we'll retest the edges and see where they are when I'm done. I'm just going to jump right into this. We are going to test middle of the blades, kind of close to the flats. 178. What is that? 134. 82. Next up is the PM2, and this has been thinned out by Sean. 147. 141. 188. So taking those numbers, averaging them out, for the K2 it's at 131, the PM2 is at 158, and I'll have the chart at the end of this video along with these results so you guys can look at it and compare. All of the previous knives that I have tested I'll also have in the description box, so if you don't read the descriptions of my videos, I highly suggest you do. I usually put information down there that's pertinent. I'm actually surprised the PM2 has a higher number than the K2. This knife is so much thinner than this beastly guy, but just goes to show, thin isn't the be-all end-all of a sharp edge. I gotta say thank you to Sean for sending this stuff on to me. That was really kind of him. Being a complete stranger on the internet, you know, you never know the type of person you're dealing with, so to send not only your knives but your sharpening stones to a complete stranger, you know, that takes a leap of faith, and I like to think I'm a stand-up guy, so I do appreciate him taking that trust into me. But again, if you don't know the person, there's always that what-if scenario. I'm going to take super care of these guys, make sure nothing happens to them. If he gives me the okay to sharpen these, I'll touch base with him and see if he wants me to be delicate with them, taping them up, or if he doesn't really care how they look. I know since he's making his own knives, he could probably refurbish these if I put a scratch or anything in it, but I don't want to do anything unnecessarily. If you guys have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. I'll also have a link to Sean's channel in the description. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good one.